Now, this Secretary of State Marco Rubio doubts that the U.S. can reach any kind of diplomacy with the Cuban government. Listen.
The things they talk about economically are cosmetic in nature. They're not real, because that's what they've gotten used to all these years, is just buying time and waiting us out. They're not going to be able to wait us out or buy time. We're very serious. We're very focused. As I told you a moment ago, in the context of Iran, the president's preference is always a negotiated agreement that's peaceful. That's always our preference. That remains our preference with Cuba. I'm just being honest with you. You know, the likelihood of that happening, given who we're dealing with right now, is not high.
Florida Congressman Carlos Jimenez, an immigrant from communist Cuba, joins me now. So, Congressman, what kind of military action is imminent? Is this just about the capture of Raul like we did with Maduro?
It could be, and so I don't have any precise information about what we're going to be doing next. I think it's good to keep the Cubans guessing about what our next move is, but the fact that Raul Castro was indicted, that just puts another option on the table, and the president can do a Maduro-like kind of capture of a wanted individual from the Department of Justice, and so. We did that with Noriega. We did that with Maduro. We can certainly do it with Raul Castro. But, again, like the Secretary said, we want to negotiate first as much as we can. He just doubts that that's going to come to much fruition.
Well, we've tried playing the nice guy. Remember that situation in 2016 when President Obama was in power, where he took a trip to Havana, actually went out to a baseball game with Raul, tried to be buddy-buddy with the guy. This is a guy, just to be clear, explain who Raul is and what he has done in terms of massacring Cubans, his own people.
Well, Raul Castro was right alongside Fidel Castro when the revolution started in 1959 or ended in 1959. And the first things that they did is they took thousands of people and they executed them in a place called the Malecón, where they would put them up in a firing squad and kill the enemies of the revolution. And so that's just one of the crimes that he has. Then Raul's part of the whole regime. So what this whole thing was about was he ordered the shoot down of two Brothers to the Rescue airplanes, light planes that were flying over international waters. And what were they doing? They were looking for Cubans that had thrown themselves into the sea to try to swim or use some kind of a life raft to get to freedom in the Straits of, through the Straits of Florida. We know hundreds, if not thousands, of Cubans died trying to make that journey. He's responsible for that too, and so he is a monster. It doesn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me that Obama was there trying to play buddy-buddy with Raul and that regime. There wasn't a dictatorial regime that Obama didn't like. Just like today, there isn't a dictatorial regime that the Democrats don't like. Even though they're supposed to be the champions of democracy, they go around the world trying to defend these communist dictators or dictators around the world and blame the United States for the woe that they're causing to their people.
But having said,
thank you, Mr. Secretary. As I always do, I want to honor members of the Joint Force. Today, I want to highlight and proudly describe the essential role of our intelligence enterprise and the role that they play in conducting our military operations. The totality of their work is the culmination of days, months, and in many cases, years of work by our uniformed and civilian intelligence professionals. We have been able to do the work that we are ordered to do because America's intelligence force, including our core collectors and analysts, have spent decades searching for every loose thread. From the determination of a particular intelligence requirement to that piece of intelligence being collected in the field by a military or interagency case officer to the rigorous analysis that goes into reporting on that finding, those team members spend their careers answering the incredibly important questions that we must attempt to answer before, during, and after operations. They live in the enemy's mind. Normally located behind the green door or behind the vault door in dark, windowless rooms across the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, are world-class intel members from DIA, our service intelligence components, NSA, NGA, CIA, NRO, and in the case of the operations that I've just described, the Office of Naval Intelligence, all work tirelessly to sift through the mountains of collected information using tools, tactics, techniques, and procedures that I'm not going to discuss today. The sun never sets on these world-class professionals, and their goal is every minute of every day to be on the account. And they know the enemy. They know their combat capability, their weapons, their industrial and economic systems, and they know their leaders' pattern of life, where they go, what they think, and what they do. Thanks to their work, we know Iran, and it is an incredible work that they do. Again, none of our operations that we've conducted during my time in this job could have been done without the service of these intelligence professionals. And the distance from those core collectors and those analysts to those Patriot crews who are defending U.S. forces forward or the fighter pilots is incredibly small. Every single day, as their mottos say, they are committed to excellence in the defense of the nation and to securing the future, and they're doing the work of the nation.
Won't divulge internal conversations. I will say that those of us within the intelligence community continue to provide the president with all of the best objective intelligence available to inform his decisions.
The last what the world wants is an insecure United States. We need a strong, healthy, wealthy, self-competent, not warmongering United States to keep peace. It's the way your president is managing things. President Trump, that is.
War in this context and in pursuit of peace is necessary.